I'm going to show you some mistakes you must avoid if you must save yourself from regrets and tears in marriage. You see, so many people step into relationship or marriage full of dreams only to walk away with tears, heartbreak, and regrets. Now, here is the truth. It's not always because of the other person. Sometimes it's a mistake that we made before saying, yes, I do. Now, that's why today on BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub, I'm going to show you the major mistakes you must avoid if you truly want peace, clarity, and joy in your marriage. Therefore, if you are still single, if you are still dating or engaged, watch this video to the end because what I'm about to share with you will help guide your heart, also help you to hear God clearly, and also it's going to help you avoid avoidable tears. Stick with me to the end because the 7 point is something you can never do it so long as you are planning to go into a relationship or marriage. Now, let's move ahead. Number one mistake you must avoid is the mistake of rushing into commitment without clarity. Rushing into commitment without clarity. You see, many people are emotionally involved before they are spiritually aligned. Now, they say yes to a person before asking if this person is really God's will or just a personal desire. And if you make this kind of mistake, I'll show you exactly what happens afterwards. Now, what happens is that you will become too attached to walk away, even when you see the clear signs. You will begin to explain. The next thing is that you begin to explain away red flags. You begin to explain red flags away. You begin to explain it. And you begin to ignore that still small voice that is warning you. You see, then you begin to explain everything. No matter how negative they are, you will explain them. Even if they tell you this man has been married before now, you can even explain it away. You say something like, he's married before, but he still loves me. You see, no matter what they tell you, you can always back it up and explain it. Do you know that even if the man tells you that after marrying you, I'll marry a second wife, you can even have a reason to explain it. That's why whenever it comes to marriage, you need someone to help you, to guide you. You need someone. Number three thing is that you begin to explain away, aside from explaining red flags, you explain errors. You back them up with reasons why you must go ahead. You know what Bible says in the book of Proverbs chapter 19 in verse 2? It said, desires without knowledge is not good. Desires without knowledge is not good. How much more will hasty feet miss the way? That's Bible for you. How much more will hasty feet miss the way? So when your feet are hasty, you are likely to miss the way. So if you don't have clarity, don't commit. Don't commit. Don't let pressure from age, don't let pressure from friends, or even loneliness push you into a lifetime decision, a lifetime mistake. Slow down, therefore, slow down. Seek God. God confirmation, you need to seek it. Not just chemistry. Ask God for confirmation. Not just chemistry. Not just about what your eyes see physically. Number two mistake to avoid, don't ignore the red flags because of potentials. Don't ignore red flags because of potential, because of what you feel he will bring into the marriage tomorrow. Begin from what is on ground now. You see, it is surprising that before marriage, many tend to ignore warning signs by consoling themselves with statements like, I know he's not there yet. Have you heard people say things like that just to justify what they want to do? I know he's not there yet. I know she's not there yet, but he's trying. She just needs support and then she will change. Who told you? See, you need to understand this, that marriage doesn't transform people. Marriage doesn't change people. It magnifies who they already are. Marriage magnifies who people already are. So that thing you are seeing now at the level 1 will be magnified to level 5 and 10 after marriage. You see, that controlling attitude, that emotional manipulation you are seeing now, that spiritual inconsistency, hear me, it won't just disappear on the wedding day. It won't disappear. It won't vanish on the wedding day. It will only intensify. On the wedding day, after wedding day, you begin to see them being magnified, being intensified. They will begin to grow. You see, Amos chapter 3, verse 3, Bible says, can two walk together unless they agree? Unless they agree. You have to agree before. So you can't build a godly marriage on wishful thinking. You need alignment. You need peace. You need spiritual agreement. Avoid the pain of saying, I do to someone God never sent. Be careful. Be wise. Don't rush to say, I do to someone who God has not sent. Don't explain away the errors. Number 3 mistake to avoid, don't confuse. I say, don't confuse a good person with the right person. Did you get what I said? Don't confuse a good person with the right person. You see, not everyone who looks right is meant to go the distance with you. Not everyone who looks right is meant to go the journey of marriage with you. They may be kind, they may be attractive, they may look respectful, but hear me, if God didn't ordain it, the relationship will struggle to stand the storms of life. God doesn't just give you someone to love. Hear me. He gives you someone who will love you with him, who will love him with you, who will love you and love God, who will love God and love you. So don't get distracted by charm or chemistry. Don't get distracted by looks, by what your eyes see or what you feel. Ask important questions. Ask, do they bring me closer to God or farther away from God? Can we solve conflict with respect and honesty? Ask questions. Are they consistent in actions, not just words? Can we communicate openly, even when it is hard, even when it looks hard? Do they respect my boundaries and my values? Check these things very well. That's one thing I loved about my wife. Before I got married to my wife sat me down. Every moment she saw me, she would sit me down and ask me series upon series of questions. And I kept supplying answers. If not, I would have failed. Ask questions. Are they emotionally mature and self-aware? Do they support my purpose? My wife kept asking me those days, what is your plan in the next 5 years? Where are you planning to be in the next 5 years? Where are you planning to be in the next 10 years? Where are you planning to be in the next 30 years? Ask questions. Do they have godly counsels and spiritual truth? Find out. Bible says in the book of Psalm chapter 37, verse 23, it says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So let God order your relationship. Don't let just emotions to order your relationship. Let God order it, not just emotions. Number 4 mistakes to avoid. Please don't ignore your peace. Don't ignore your inner peace. It is God's warning system. You see, anything that tampers with your peace system, please run for your dear life. You see, one of the biggest mistakes that causes heartbreak before marriage is overriding your inner peace. Even in marriage, overriding your inner peace. You see, sometimes everything looks right on the outside, but deep down, something something inside of you doesn't feel settled. You may have prayed, but still you feel uneasy. You smile in the public, but you cry in private. My dear, that is not confusion. That is God speaking to you. The word of God says in Colossians chapter 3, in verse 15, he says, let the peace of Christ rule in your heart. Allow the peace of Christ rule in your life. And see, that word rule simply means to act as a referee, to act as a judge in your decision. Allow him. So if peace is missing, my dear, don't proceed. No matter how much you love them, no matter how much you feel they love you, if that peace is not there, my dear, as the peace disappears, disappear with the peace, with peace. You see, many people cry tears later in marriage because they silenced God's gentle whisper for the sake of timing, for the sake of feelings, for the sake of pressure. That's no time. You see, peace is not always loud. That's one thing you know about peace. It's not always loud, but it's always true. It's always true. So before you walk down the aisles, ask questions. Ask yourself, do I have peace? Or am I pushing forward out of fear? Am I pushing forward? Am I advancing forward out of pressure or out of emotion? Ask yourself these questions. You see, marriage should not begin with confusion. It should begin with clarity. It should begin with calm. It should begin with peace of mind. Number 5, mistake to avoid, don't idolize the idea of marriage more than God's will. Don't make marriage look like an idol in your life. Don't idolize it more than the will of God. You see, many people fall into tears before marriage and in marriage, inside marriage, because they made marriage the goal, not just God's will. People fall into trouble in marriage because to them, the goal is to marry, not just the will of God. You see, they pursue status. They pursue what their eyes see. You see, marriage is a blessing. Marriage is not a cure for loneliness. In case why you want to marry is to escape loneliness because all your friends have married, you see, you are missing it already. Marriage is not a cure for pain. In case you are coming from a family where things are not working, you are looking for someone to now, make your life soft. Marriage is not a cure for people's confusion. If you are confused about your purpose on earth, it's not marriage that will cure it. Therefore, if you are not whole before marriage, you will carry brokenness. That same brokenness, you will carry it into the marriage, and then your troubles will be magnified. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33 says something. He says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. He says, and all these things shall be added to you. Seek God, get him, and then God will make all things to fall in pleasant places for you. When marriage becomes an idol in your life, you will settle for anything. That's the truth. You see anything, you run into it. And it happens at the end to be a trap. You overlook warning signs just to finally wear a ring. Oh, you begin to show people your ring and marry finally. You see, but when God becomes your priority, what happens? He aligns your path with peace. He aligns your path with the right partner. Remember, a delayed yes from God is better than a fast yes that leads to years of regrets. Don't idolize marriage. Pursue wholeness and alignment first. Other things will fall in places. Number 6, mistake to avoid. Don't let desperation silence God's voice. Don't let your desperation to get married, to wear the ring, silence God's voice. You see, one silent mistake many people make before marriage is this. They want it so badly. They just want it by all means so badly that they stop listening. They want it by all means that they stop listening. Their ears become blocked, whether spiritual ear or physical ears. Yes, you've prayed. Yes, you asked for a sign. Hear me. But deep down, you've already made up your mind. You are praying to God, but you have made up your mind. So when God tries to show you the truth, you can ignore it because you have already made up your mind. Oh, this guy, I must marry him. Why? Deep down inside you, you know it's because of the money you are seeing, because of the ordinary car you are seeing. You see, desperation can make you confused. You know, you can become confused. You confuse any attention for affection. You confuse every relationship for God's plan. But the truth is simple. God will never lead you into something that robs you of peace just to fulfill your desire. Bible says in Proverbs chapter 3 in verse 6, it says, in all your ways, acknowledge him. Acknowledge him. He said he will direct your path. Acknowledge, allow God to have his place. Then he will be the one to direct you. God cannot direct a heart that has already chosen its own way. You have already made up your mind and you are calling on God to direct you. Direct what? You have directed yourself. And when you choose someone out of fear, you choose someone out of being alone, you invite your years of pain into your future. That is it. You see, that small, quiet voice that said, wait. You see, that restlessness in your spirit, no peace in your spirit, that dream you had, you see, put them into consideration. They weren't coincidences. You must know this. In fact, they were God's gentle attempts to protect you. It's just that you are overwhelmed. You are carried away by what your eyes are seeing. You just want to get into it by all means. My dear, don't trade a lifetime of peace for a moment of emotional satisfaction. Before you say yes, hear me, to anyone, make sure you haven't said no to God's voice. You must first of all say yes to God's voice before you can go ahead to say yes to any man, to any woman. Number 7 mistake to avoid, as I round off, don't shut God out of the process. Don't shut God out of the process. Make sure God is involved from beginning to end. You see, the biggest mistake you can make before marriage is letting your emotions to lead while you shut God out of it. You see, you keep dating and hoping, but deep inside you, you have not truly submitted the plan to God. Or you prayed, I know you prayed, but you have ignored the peace inside of you or lack of it that followed afterwards. You ignore it. Whether there was peace, whether there is no peace, you just ignore them, shut them down. It's an error. Isaiah chapter 30 verse 21, he said, you will hear a voice behind you that will say to you, this is the way, walk therein. There is a voice that you are trying to ignore. Be careful. And if you are confused, if you're anxious or you are restless, pause. God is not the author of confusion. Peace is a compass. Don't say yes when heaven says no. Beware, be careful. Beloved, as I'm rounded off, hear me. If you are not yet married, hear me. If you are not yet married, thanks be to God. Yes, I know why I said it. Because you still have a time. You still have time. You still have opportunity to choose wisely. You still have time to make your plans according to God's divine purpose for your life. So avoid the mistake of emotional blindness. Avoid the mistake of spiritual silence. Avoid the mistake of rushed commitments. Let God lead your love life. Allow God to lead your love life. Let wisdom guide your heart, not desperation. And remember, don't forget, the right person at the wrong time is still the wrong decision. And finally, as we close, if this teaching has blessed your life, if this message has blessed your life, say this in the comment section below. Lord, help me to choose with wisdom, not just emotion. Type it down. Lord, help me choose with wisdom, not just emotion. Please type it down in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe to BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub for more powerful teachings. on Christian dating, healing, and preparations for a lasting marriage. I'll see you again in our next video. And until then, continue to build the relationship that lasts. Goodbye.